Hi everybody. So starting a little bit earlier today because I'm not sure how long this is going to take me to do. But as you can see, there's a change of scenery here because I am in my bathroom because I am doing an airbrush test again for the Tamatoa makeup. This is my inspiration. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. This is Tamatoa, and Tamatoa is going to be my inspiration for the stream. Yes. Okay. So this little critter, I have a costume for him, and I've done makeup before, but now that I've got proper airbrush makeup and I have a better color palette, like a really nice color palette now, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and stream the next makeup test live. So here I am in my bathroom. If there's an echo, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do about that. But I figured I'd go ahead and show you the process. I've already put on my primer 15 minutes ago so it could set into my skin. This is the primer I use. It's called ELF. It's a blemish control face primer. It's ultra hydrating, and it's pretty good for airbrush makeup. So I am about to use an airbrush. I have the Pinkio gravity-fed airbrush right here. It has 3 settings. It uses a gravity feeder, and it is also travel safe. It's very tiny, as you saw, and it's pretty easy to use. The makeup that I'll be using for the stream for like the upper part of my face, I have this here because I'm going to be pulling my hair back. But for the upper part of my face, I am using the Endura alcohol-based airbrush body paint. And Endura is one of my favorites simply because they have really, really bright pigments, and I don't react to them. So plus they don't do animal testing, and they're pretty good about trying to stay as natural as is possible when it comes to alcohol-based paint suspended in silicone. I have several colors here. I have red, I have a vein blue, which I wanted because I want a little bit of a lighter purple to match Tamatoa. I've got a yellow here. It's going to look orange until I mix it up, so I've got a yellow, and then I also have white. Now, I'm going to let you know white airbrush paint is notorious for clogging up airbrush guns. So anytime I mix white into something, I use something called Transluce, or I use 99% alcohol to try and thin it out, because white airbrush paint is a mess. It's evil, it's cruel, and it's a mess. But I figured I'd go ahead and do this makeup. So like I said, I've already put my primer on. I let it set for 15 minutes. I have kind of wet my hair so that it's easier to pull back into this little makeup bib thing I have. So I'm gonna disappear for a second. But actually, it might be easier if I put it over my neck here. And then it's sort of like putting on a wig cap, but for makeup. And there we go. This way, since I shave my head and my hair is short, I get all the little tiny hairs. There we go. All right, now I look funny, but what are you gonna do? Oh well. So let me turn down the light here. It is a little bright. There we go, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and, since I want purple to start, since Tamatoa kind of has this very light purple on the top of his head, I'm going to use a couple drops of the red and then a couple drops of the blue, and let the airbrush mix it up for me. The reason I am in my bathroom is because it's well ventilated. I have a window open over here on the left. That's why you see some light coming from here. You want to work in a well ventilated space, or you want to have a space that has a vent that can pull air from you. I don't have my vent on simply because I think it'll be a little too loud for you to hear me on the stream, but you can use it. Now I've put some color into the gravity feeder here, and now I'm going to put some of the blue in here. Oh, okay. Apparently there was a little skin on my blue. So I'm going to put some of the blue in here now, and hopefully we get a nice purple once I mix this up. I have acquired a Q-tip here. Now you don't have to do this. One easy way is to turn on the airbrush. So I've turned on my little airbrush here. It is on, it's making noise. And what I can do to mix this is I can kind of press back on the airbrush gun so that it doesn't do anything. Right. There's no air coming from my airbrush. Ugh. These are the things you find out when you're trying to work on your airbrush and you're like, why can't I hear any air from it? Chances are because the thing's not plugged in all the way or my air is not coming out. So troubleshooting airbrush gun already. Yay. Oh, my tube came undone. That happens sometimes. All right. So we're gonna try and do this airbrush, and if it fights me on it, oh well, we're just gonna have to. I'm not getting any air from this at all, so I'm gonna check my gun itself because I should be getting air from this now, and I'm not. This is fun. This is the magic of when you use the airbrush. If you don't hear any air coming through it, you go, what's happening? Is there a cut in my tube? Did it get damaged somehow? I wonder if there is a cut in my tube. Oh. It's probably because that wasn't plugged up. Okay, now I'm getting air. That's good. I wasn't getting air before. My tube is fully connected now. Okay, good. All right. So how is your Saturday going? Mine is apparently having a really stubborn airbrush gun. This is why I started early, because if it decided to fight me and be mean, like it is right now, I can fix it. Of course, I don't want to waste any of my paint, but woo, don't drop your airbrush gun parts. Okay. Hi. If you're joining me now, I'm having airbrush problems, so I'm taking it apart and putting it back together and seeing where the problem is. Because no paint is coming out of my airbrush because there's no air coming out. So if we have to, I will just switch to doing this in a different format. Like I will just switch to painting a different way. Stuff happens when your airbrush gun goes wrong. My airbrush gun is not working right now. I don't know why, but we're about to figure out what's going on with it. But I have to pour paint out of it to make it work so that I can take it apart. Sometimes you'll get air, you'll get paint stuck in the inside of it, and that is never good when you're working with airbrush. So I am going to try and fix this. So much. This is always terrible when this happens, and you're like, oh, it was working earlier and now it's not working. So this is why I have cleaning solutions ready, just in case it decided to get caught up and not work. All right. So I'm going to clean this and take this apart, and we'll see what happens. And worst case scenario, I'll just switch to doing powdered makeup, and we'll do the makeup test differently. And then next time I'll have to do an airbrush test until I can figure out what's going on with this, because it was working like a few minutes ago. So, but with airbrushes, here, I'll show you the airbrush. Taking this apart, you can take the end off like this, and then there's going to be the needle right here. You're going to take another end, and this is what loosens the needle for you so you can pull it all out. Now you're going to want to hold onto the trigger when you do this, otherwise it will sink down. But start pulling this out, or to make it even looser, which I like to do, there's another bit right here, and you can unscrew that a little bit too, and then pull out the needle. And it looks like there is something on my needle. But before I do that, I'm going to run some air through the airbrush to see if air is even coming through, because if there's no air coming through with the needle out, then that means that it's stuck up somewhere underneath the trigger, and I'll have to remove that too to see what else I need to fix. So I'm holding the trigger very carefully right now since the needle is out. So I don't want it to sink. And then we're going to turn on the airbrush. Yeah, it's something wrong with the trigger. When I pull the trigger down, nothing works. So what I need to do is, since it's not the needle, I will have to open this thing up completely, which is actually easy to use. This is a Pinkio airbrush. This is a gravity-fed airbrush gun. So right here, that section I was showing you, I can completely pull this out. And then what I do is I look inside the trigger, and it looks as though what activates it has not fallen into the hole properly. And it's a very tiny space that the trigger pushes down and pulls the air out through. So if for any reason the trigger has managed to miss that space, it will fail. So I'm going to pull the spring all the way back, and then I'm going to try and get this part right here back into the little hole that it belongs in, which is not very easy to do. Because again, it's a very tiny space that you're working with. And if you don't get it all the way in there, so I want to get it in to make sure where I don't see any lights. If you shine light through and you see light, that's not good. That means that this little tiny area right here has not gotten in. So first, I'm going to make sure that it goes all the way in. Oh, goodness, this is very difficult to do. Every airbrush gun does come with some kind of a toolkit. So a lot of these toolkits do have things that help you put stuff together. Unfortunately, this one is a little bit of a cheaper one. It works really well. It's meant for traveling with, but that also means that it did not come with the tool that helps you put the trigger back. All right, I think I've got it all the way in now. So now what I'm going to do is tighten this and see if air flows back through it again properly. And if it does, then we can use the airbrush. So troubleshooting is a part of airbrushing, unfortunately. So if you are uncomfortable with that, I highly suggest just sticking to highly pigmented powders, or using a palette, which I can switch to this palette too if the air is not coming through here. Okay. Got it. All right, I figured out what's wrong with it. So I have solved the problem of the airbrush gun. Now, it's time to put the needle back in so that it doesn't happen again. Okay. Getting the needle through when you're trying to fix this, very tricky. Very tricky. All right, so let's see if this works now. Nope. All right, we're going to switch. We're going to do, instead of airbrushing today, we're going to switch to the palette painting because this has failed. So I'm going to have to completely repair my airbrush, and that takes quite a bit of time, and I don't want to waste all the time with you guys. So we're going to switch it up. And we are going to do, this is why I always have a backup. So we'll switch it up, and we're going to do the Wolf effects. Now, this is why you want to have backups. If for some reason your airbrush fails, you'll want to have some kind of a palette or a compact that you can use. And I'm going to go ahead and do that instead of using the airbrush paints I had initially intended to use, because my airbrush gun is officially broken for some reason. So these palettes come out. They're Wolf Effects brand. They are alcohol activated, so I would still need to use alcohol for them. And they do come with little brushes. And thankfully this one has some purples and blues I can use, so I don't have to mix them myself, but you can mix the paints up if you choose to do that. So I'm going to be using these paint brushes. I'm also going to be using a larger brush that I have over here, and I'm going to start painting on some of this purple onto myself. In order to do this, what I have to do is I need to take some of this paint or some of this alcohol activator and put it inside of, they come with these little lids. So I will do that, and I will put some of the activator in that lid. And then hopefully next time, my airbrush, like I said, my airbrush was just working, so I don't know what happened. But, oh well, you work with what you have when things go wrong. So again, Tamatoa has this very light purple, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the light purple on the upper part of my face. All right. And this purple has like a little bit of a blue tone in it, which is exactly what I need. Ooh, I'm already dripping paint on myself. I am wearing this little apron thing because if I get paint on myself, I don't want to make a mess in my bathroom. And here we go. I always have a little rag nearby just in case. All right. Now for these alcohol activated paints, oh, it's not. Why are you not activating? I am just having a rough day today. Everything is fighting me. Okay, it's coming off blue. Why are you coming off blue? This is fun. This is when things just go wrong. I don't know what's happening right now. But, okay. There we go. So, hi everybody. Everything's breaking and not working for me, even though it was working 10 minutes ago when I first tried it. So we'll see what happens. Okay. This is very translucent. I think that we're gonna have to go with the powders because everything's fighting me today. Everything's just like, I don't want to work with you today. I don't want to do anything. I want to be naughty and not function. Could also be this brush. So we'll try a different brush just in case it is that brush. It is that brush. This is fun. This brush is too tiny. So anyways, makeup fails. Yay. What do I want to do since everything's not working for me? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Let's see if this is the alcohol-based Endura thinner. This might actually work for what I'm trying to do. Yay, that's a good thing with our hard palettes. I just keep dropping this. Why are you not coming out? It's gonna fight me the whole day today, huh? Everything's gonna fight me today. Everything is at war with Sam today and does not want to work. But what are you gonna do when everything stops working? Just gonna start painting yourself with blue to get a base down at least. All right. Yep. Ultimate makeup fail on stream. Awesome. This is literally 99% alcohol. It smells horrible. It is just not working for this for some reason. I haven't had this problem before, so this is really unusual. So we're just gonna try, keep on fighting the good fight and see what happens. Oh look, I'm starting to get some purple, finally. It just likes the tiny brushes, which is rough because painting with a tiny brush is like the most difficult thing to do. I'm wondering if maybe the other brush has just too much absorption and is taking all of the alcohol away, which I guess is possible. So purple is coming out now, but not very well. So I'm just going to keep putting a lot of alcohol thinner in it. And I have a 99% alcohol thinner that I'm using to try and get this to start layering on and hopefully activate the palette. I haven't had this problem before. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know why everything is fighting me. I can give my airbrush one more shot if you guys want me to do that. I can try fixing it one more time since everything seems to be going against me today. May as well try fighting the airbrush one more time, see if I'm successful. But otherwise, I'll just switch to powders, and I'll show you how I do makeup with powders instead of anything else that fails me. So we'll plug in this airbrush one more time, see what's going on, see if we can get anything through it. If we can't get anything through it, then we'll just really quickly move on to powders. Powders will take me about 30 minutes. That's cool, that's awesome. But this particular airbrush is usually very easy to use. Usually I have absolutely no problem with it whatsoever. Again, it's a Pinkio airbrush. What I love when makeup, I mean, I guess this just goes to show you that, yes, failures happen. It is entirely possible to have everything go wrong for you at the same time. And so that is literally what's happening to me today, is everything is going wrong. Everything that can go wrong with this makeup is starting to go wrong today. Just to be certain, I am dipping the needle for the airbrush in 99% alcohol and cleaning it out, as sometimes that is the cause of the failure. And then I am going to put the trigger back in a different direction and see if that helps. All right. So right now I have the trigger out. There's a little piece inside of here that the spring pushes against. I'm going to pull it all the way out too. And then I'm going to try and put the trigger directly in the hole it is fighting me. Here we go. I think I've got it lined up all the way now. Here's hoping some magic happens. And it works, because it's just not working right now for me. And I don't know what's going on. Okay. Last try. I know, at least it's not a convention. Like, it would totally suck if this was a convention. And I'm like, nothing's working. Why is nothing working? So let's put some alcohol through this. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of alcohol. No. All right. I'm going to see if the trigger has the needle through it. It does. Oh, I can hear it trying. So I think it's just not lined up at all. I wonder how it stops getting lined up. It's very peculiar. This is just airbrush repair 101. Take the needle out, pour alcohol in. That doesn't work. Take the needle out again. See if there's paint left in there. There is paint left in there. So then that probably means that there's something caught up inside of the airbrush itself. So go ahead and pour some alcohol in that area with the tube not connected, because if you pour alcohol in with the air tube connected, it will just go down the air tube, and that's not what you want. You don't want any liquid in the air tube. That is like the worst thing possible. So, okay. All right, get out of there. The trigger is trying to escape, which is fine. Yeah, it looks like there is something inside of here that's causing it. I'm not sure how it got in this far, but it did. Well, now it's gone. Whatever it was, I just rinsed it through. And this is the idiot, like the tiny itty bitty trigger. So you can imagine trying to get everything in here. It's not easy. All right. Look at this. And we'll start doing this. I don't think the trigger's lined up. It will be. Get that trigger lined up and we'll be fine. Here's hoping we'll be fine. Why are you so tiny? Okay. The tiny piece is torture, guys. This tiny piece is absolute torture. This is like crazy sauce right now, and I have no idea what it's doing. I don't know why it got all the way in there, but somehow it got all the way deep down in the depths. Okay. You're allowed to be here on the side, but you can't go there. Stay there. Don't fight me. Just stay where you belong. And you go in the hole you belong in. This sounds so dirty. Okay. Let's start getting the trigger into place. Oh gosh. And everything tried to fall out. That's fun. Okay. All right. I'm just going to take this out. I'm going to take the whole spring out. So you can see there's a spring right here. So I'm going to take the whole spring out and see if we can get this trigger to behave itself. Just don't come out at all. Just stay there. Okay. And then I need to take the last piece of the trigger, put it in here. There we go. I don't know if you guys have ever put together an airbrush gun, but it likes to fight you. And there's just this itty little spot that it goes into. And it's horrible. Nope. Just go in the spot. I think that's what happened, why it wasn't pushing the airflow out, is it's trying to fight me and not go back into the spot it belongs in. And it does not help that I have a spring here. It's like, sure, just do whatever you want. There. All right, it's now where it belongs. Let's see if this all goes in here. All right, it's all put together, I think. If I put the spring in right. I think I did. It looks like I did. Actually, I'm not sure that I did, but we'll see. We'll know if no air comes out, whether or not I put the spring in right. So I don't think it should be that wobbly. And then we'll give it one more try, and then I'm switching straight to the, I'm switching to the powders, and we'll just have to, yeah. So the trigger's backwards. It does not help that there's literally no guide telling me which way to, like, it tells me how to put everything together except for the trigger. And so I'm like, why would you do that to me? Why would you say, this is how you put this together, but I'm not going to actually show you how to put the trigger in? Because you can figure that out on your own, right? You can figure out how to put a spring and a trigger and all this crazy madness together by yourself. Yeah, totally. Thanks, guys. I can absolutely do that by myself. I'm an engineer. Not. All right, so there's this little itty bitty piece that does not want to come out. And I don't feel like putting the trigger back in, so I can just get it to fall out the side here. That would be awesome. All right, got it. Haha, escaped. Okay, so I can put it in like this. Does not help that it's itty bitty. I have a trigger in already. So it needs to go in like that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to put the spring in. And then I'm going to put the spring holder in. Okay, this is working. We're getting there. Let's see if we've got the reaction we want. Okay, that's much better. Now let's get the needle in and see if any airflow comes in, and if at this point nothing works, I think my airbrush could officially be broken, which would really suck. But it could just be sometimes it does happen as they age where the gun itself just dies out. I've had this airbrush for like 2.5 years now, so it is entirely possible. I just looked and saw like the blue on like my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm bruising. How am I bruising? Oh wait, I already tried painting and it didn't work. That explains it. So we'll try doing this, put a little bit of alcohol in here, see if we can get some airflow through it now that we've actually fixed the spring error. And if we don't get any airflow through it, then I know that this is broken. And I got airflow. We fixed it. Oh my gosh, guys, it's fixed. I can start airbrushing. We did it! It's fixed! Yay! You all believed in me. Thank you. So, it was just madness. That's all. It just took me freaking out, getting scared, and then it working. So now we're going to start putting some paint in here, hoping to goodness that this works better this time and it doesn't fight me so much. And yeah, that's the party we just went through. We went through the madness of being afraid as to whether or not it would work, and it finally worked. And now I need to get more red in here so I can actually get like a purple. And if this color doesn't work, I might switch to, I have a really bright blue. Yeah, this is, for some reason, I'm going to airbrush this and I'll show you like it's actually working now. So, getting some color here. But it's kind of like a really dark purple, and I'm not sure why it's such a dark purple. You can see it's like a really dark purple. So we're going to change this up. We're going to get a better color in here. So I think that this color's gone bad, which sucks, but whatever. I'll just go to the, I have a really, really bright blue I'll switch to. And I'm sure that'll work better. And then we'll be fine. At least the airbrush is working. So, I mean, we've got a working airbrush, so that's one step forward for me. I consider that a success for getting a working airbrush, considering it was fighting us so aggressively for the past few minutes, or few minutes, past half hour, honestly. But nice to have a working airbrush. We'll switch to a bright blue, which I have over here. Sorry, I have to run over here and get the bright blue. Wait, which one's bright blue? That's light blue. Any bright blue. All right, I have super, 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 super bright blue. And I'm thinking that'll probably make a better purple than the blue I had before, because it could just be the blue I had before, as I said, I've had for a while, and it might just be too old. The things you learn as you're working with airbrush, you just learn a lot, you really do. I'm going to use the back end of my paintbrush to kind of mix it in here. And then I'll rub it on the back of my hand, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's going to be a much better purple. So I'll put a little bit of white, and we're ready to go. Finally. It only took a half hour of fixing everything that broke on me. It's cool. You know, we just had a broken airbrush and not working paint palette, and everything just decided to fight us because it was a party. But now we have everything working, and we can finally start painting. So I'm going to start with a darker color and then go lighter, I think. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. You have like this bluish purple thing going on. I kind of like it. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Now we're airbrushing. You know. Painting very, very blue. And I'm going to come over it with a bit more red in a second. I'm very blue. It looks black on the camera. I'm not sure why it looks black on the camera. It's not black. It's blue in the mirror, but it looks black on the camera. So this is fun. We're just having a little party, guys. Having a painting party. Hello. Welcome to anyone who's joining. You missed the drama of the airbrush not working. I see some of you going, what is going on, Sam? What are you doing? I'm just fighting everything at the moment. I'm fighting my airbrush, and I'm fighting my life, and I look like I have a giant bruise on the top of my head. And yeah. So how are you doing? It's all good, right? Airbrushes are pretty easy to clean, so I've kind of got like this unusual color going on right now. I'm not sure. Usually purple and red get along really well together, or blue and red get along together, but they're not. They kind of want to fight me today. Haha, I know what to do. 2 drops of this. Mix this up. I have a solution to fix you. You can't fight me because I've got yellow too. So, hi. Now that we're fixing this, I feel like it's going to be better. Ooh. I actually like the color coming out of this now. Kind of cool. There we go. Full of green. But mixing paints with an airbrush too, what you can do is if you're too worried about putting it directly in the cup, you can take it and put it into something like this, and you can mix it up. So I'm going to take some of the colors that I'm putting in here, and I'm going to mix them up because I am having a trouble. Sometimes the cup that you have in your airbrush is just a little too small, and you can't get the color that you want mixed in that little small area. So what you can do is you just kind of clean out the cup a little bit, and then you can put, like, I'm going to put some of the red in here, and I'm going to put some of the blue in here, and then I put some of this until I get the right color that I want. And it's just mixing it in here, and then I'm going to put a transluce, which is a thinner, in here too. And then I'm going to take my little lid cup here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to shake this up, until I get the color that I want. So this is a little too green, so I don't want that color. So then what I want to do, I know what I want to do. Okay, we got it. And if we fail at this horribly, this is why it's a makeup test, and you all can laugh at me. Yay! This is why you test things. Sometimes I just have to buy a custom color because I just can't get the shade that I want. Like, this is coming out a little too red now. Yeah, it's biting me. All right. We are going to do the removal routine real fast. So you take some, that's actually a good thing to talk about. I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you remove alcohol-based paint? Well, as you can see, I have a bunch of alcohol-based paint on my forehead right now. One of the easiest ways to remove it, other than putting a lot more alcohol on your skin, is coconut oil. And you let it soak into some kind of a rag, a cleaning cloth, and you can just start wiping away. Let it soak in and start wiping away. I like to let it soak a little bit, but it kicks it up off pretty fast without hurting your skin. Because if you use 100% alcohol, or 99% alcohol, it works, but then it's painful, and then your skin hates you for the rest of your life. Whereas you might have to do a little bit more elbow grease with alcohol or the coconut oil, but your skin's not going to hate you afterwards, and you're not going to be in any pain. So I highly recommend coconut oil over any other thing. And we're just going to do our painting a little bit differently today. All right, I'm almost done getting this off. May not look like it, but it's soaked in pretty good now. It will start coming off a lot easier here in a moment. Let it soak, get some more. Okay, now I can, there we go. See, comes right off. And that is the miracle of coconut oil. Yay! So that's how you remove alcohol-based paint. Coconut oil, you can use 99% alcohol. Just understand that it's going to be quite painful for you on your skin, your face, your arms, your hands. If you have any cuts on your body or any dry skin spots, where I've been testing my hand, if you have any dry skin spots, it will be incredibly painful to remove using 99% alcohol. You can use 50% alcohol. You could also use a little bit of alcohol with coconut oil and kind of merge those together and create like a little bath for your skin, basically. But it doesn't always work. So I have a plan to overcome the obstacles I faced today during this stream, which is apparently hating me. I'm going to do a red paint real fast over my face, and then I'm going to go orange down the bottom, and then we're going to go with powders so that I actually have a tested color here, because apparently my red and blue aren't agreeing with one another. I haven't had this problem. Actually, like I had it once a long time ago when the paints were older, so I'm wondering if all the blue paints that I have are just old. They don't have any expiration notes on them saying that they are older, so it could just be their the length of time they've been at rest, and so it's just not agreeing with me, which just happens. But I'm going to start with the red up here, because then I can use some powder to make it more purple. All right, now I'm going to add in some yellow because I want it to start turning orange. Once you start changing the color, I always add in a little bit of the transluce, aka the alcohol, because you want it to go over your skin a little bit more translucent, so that if you hold your skin and stuff, it doesn't crack on you. So I've seen some people paint their skin so strong with airbrush paint that it just starts cracking on them, and you don't want that. I am painting blind. I have no idea. Oh, it goes pretty fast once you do it. Once you get the colors that you want. Okay. I want a little bit more red to blend. So we got like a red and a. All right, now I just need a little bit of white for the upper part of my face. There you go. Only doing like 1 or 2 drops. You don't want to do too much, because if you go crazy with the drops when you're putting the paint in, it ends up becoming a bit of a problem. So, all right. I want the edges to be darker. So that when I wear the wig, it kind of has like this really interesting gradient effect. And it's kind of what Tamatoa has. He has like the purple, and then it goes into like this little peachy color. Okay, so I'm officially out of airbrush fluid here, so I'm going to clean this off real fast, just because I need to switch to the yellow and white to create like the peachy look, and then I'll come in with normal makeup, and I will do this whole makeup. I will be on a little bit later because we started a little bit later because nothing was working until like 25 minutes in. So, hi Shane! We've already got like a gradient going on right now, and powders will make this much brighter once I get in here with powders, but I am using the transluce here. I'm putting a little bit of that in first, and then I always, oops, I put a little too much in. Here we go. I'm doing 2 drops of white. There you go. And then I'm doing a couple drops of yellow. Okay. And then a couple, just 1 or 2 drops of red to create like a pink color. I'm taking the end of a brush and very gently mixing it inside the cup. Do not push down or you can affect your needle. So I'm pushing this in here until I get a color that I like. I think I want to do a little bit more red and a little bit more white to create like a kind of that weird peachy color Tamatoa has. All right, we are ready to start getting the blending down at the bottom. Now I haven't done anything under my eyes or anything like that because I'm putting a lot of like gems. I'll be gluing gems on. Oh, we almost have peach. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. Look at this weird. It's really, if you don't like mixing paints, I highly suggest just buying the right color because it does take a lot of time to mix it and get it to just the right shade that you want. I always test on my hand. Do not get this on your mouth if you can. Try to avoid that. It's still a little shiny because it's wet, but make it a little bit more white. We're gonna do white. I'm gonna knock everything over. Some white, just a little bit of yellow this time. Little teensy bit of red. We want this to mostly be white because when I come in with my actual normal paint color or foundation color, doing some highlights here. Okay. So this looks crazy, but I promise you this will work. So this is pretty much what I'm doing for the airbrush. And you've got like the nice gradient going on here. The rest is done achieved with powders. So I'm going to move to real fast, just kind of close up all these brushes, these bottles, so that I don't knock them over and spill them everywhere. Because I've done that before when I was working at a convention. I was helping some friends with some paint, and I real fast walked by, hit my elbow, and knocked over like an entire thing of paint, and that was really, really sad. You never want to do that. But now that I've got the paint pretty much done, here we go. I'm gonna clean this out. And then you always run, when you clean out your airbrush, you always run alcohol through it to keep it really clean. So you're always going to run alcohol through it until it sprays clear. And it's spraying clear for me now, so it's good. So I'm just going to take one end of this very, 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 very soft, and I'm just going to clean the inside of the cup. And then after the stream, I will be taking the needle out and cleaning that as well. Because you have to clean multiple parts of the airbrush or you run into issues with it not working. And I'm wondering if last time when I cleaned it, I probably pulled the trigger out too high. And that's why I ran into the problems earlier where it took us 30 minutes to even get the airbrush working. So, okay, airbrush is put away. We are now switching to the, I'm gonna put the alcohol away too. We're now switching to the powders. A lot of makeup for costuming isn't just one type of paint. It really is multiple types of paint. And so you're going to, or paint or powder or whatever it may be. I am using the Beauty Glaze Color Fusion palette. And I'm going to start with this very light purple at the top. And I'm going to use that to hopefully get a lighter color on the top of my head, since I could not achieve the purple that I was looking for, and it is going to work. So this is a great way of, if you're struggling with paint and it's being, obnoxious and terrible, you can use powders and they can save your life. I also am going to tell you, when you're working with makeup, make sure you check its expiration date. I just checked my paint and it literally just expired 2 days ago. So here I thought I had until today, but just those 2 days are probably why I could not get it to mix, because as it gets older, it starts to thicken, and the more it thickens, either the pigment fails or the silicone hardens, and so mixing it is nearly impossible, and it's really, really, really difficult to use once it's hit that point. And it's depressing and sad and terrible that that happens, but I should have paid closer attention. I had checked it last week, and my brain, for some reason, thought it was a different week. I don't know, I just wasn't thinking. Yeah, yeah. The airbrush gun for Pinkio was only like, I think, $50. I do think I am going to have to invest in a new needle for it. You do need to replace your needles in your airbrush guns pretty regularly, and I've had that same needle for over 2 years, and I've used it for multiple costumes for myself and for others. So I think it's hitting a point where it's like, I can't do this anymore, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you, beautiful airbrush. I love you. I didn't know you were dying. But as you can see, the powder is greatly helping create that blended look that I really, really wanted before. And having the red base gives it a warmer tone like I was hoping for. Because the powders I have are all very, very cool tones. And I was concerned that that wasn't going to work. But this is actually starting to create the cool blended effect. So never be afraid to change your strategy. It's okay. Sometimes you just have to do that. I am switching, I'll show you, I'm switching back and forth between, where is my, okay. I'm switching back and forth between this shade and this shade to create that nice blended effect up here. Because Tamatoa has this unusually like kind of light purple into like this peachy, it's like light purple, it's dark, light, then like this orangish color, then like this peachy, and he has these little highlights on his cheeks that you don't see in the movie very well, but apparently all of his figurines have it, like this little highlight streak. And I don't know if that's just in manufacturing that happens, but I think it's cute. So I add it. And my counter is a mess right now. My poor counter. But I'm just going to where all the red is. I'm trying to cover it with this purple so that it matches the makeup I was attempting to do before my airbrush makeup became old and I didn't pay attention to it. Again, I'm sorry, airbrush makeup. I should have paid more attention to you. When you are doing powders over airbrush makeup, be very gentle. This is why I am being slow. Normally, I'd be far more aggressive and fast with my powders. But if you're not gentle with it, what happens is you end up flaking off the alcohol paint, and then you create pockets of the wrong color, right? And you don't really want that. So to avoid that, just be very gentle, just very gently kind of pack it in. Use a very soft brush, and you'll be good. Okay. And Tamatoa doesn't really have a nose, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my own nose. But we'll see, guys. We're almost done with the powder. Powders work really fast, obviously. I mean, it's so smooth. And the transition's really cool there. So what I'll need to do now is get like a peachy red color to transition into this orange. And I'm going to keep it on the purple brush because I want the same colors to kind of bleed into one another. There we go. And it's going right over that nice orange that we've painted. So we create a good base. And that's another thing too. Sometimes your airbrush can be used as a base. Like you can use it as a fast way to do base so you're not spending 2 hours on powders. And you just create a nice thick base for your paint. Okay, I actually like the idea of the pink coming down my nose. Let's experiment here, guys. Let's have fun. I do want to do blue on my eyes because Tamatoa has this blue that isn't, I mean, it's very subtle, but there is this blue. All right, so I'm blending in the purple and the pinkish color. This is looking what I was hoping for earlier before everything, before all my paints were like, no, we're not gonna work. It's like, okay, Guess you're not being nice to me today. So I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of a darker purple to create some contrast. There we go. And then the light purple again. So I'm gonna do like highlights with your makeup on your skin. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yay! And basically, at this point, the airbrush has served as a new base for me. And we're finally getting the color that I've been trying to do this whole time. Okay, now I'm going to need to switch brushes just because for this peachy color, yeah. All right, I have this really kind of like, maybe I should go with the orange first, the orange peachy, because we don't want to, there we go. I kind of want this orange peachy color to replace or kind of highlight the top part of the eye here. Or, okay, top part of the cheek, lower part of the eye. You know, I swear I can speak. I swear I can speak normally. Okay, we're getting some good. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can. Yeah. This eye, I don't know if I should go brighter or darker on the light rig to show you guys this very bright pink that is now on my cheek. But it's going to also replace this side here. So I'll have like this highlight here, right there. But yeah, cosplay makeup, guys. Welcome to the cosplay makeup of the day. And thank you for those of you who've stuck through the whole time when everything kept failing. Only for me to find out that it was because the trigger, my goofy self, had put, there's like a little itty bitty piece that's 1 or 2 millimeters large. And I didn't know that it wasn't on, it was in backwards. Because my goofy self had somehow put it in backwards. Not sure how I did that, but I did. All right, so we've got like this kind of purple into this pink color coming down. So I'm gonna come into here and I'm just gonna put a darker line of pink, but really exaggerate that cheek line and create sort of like a mask effect. I can blend it in with there we go. So now you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so now I need to come in this side and really draw down the line. It does not help that my face is not perfectly symmetrical. I don't know if anybody's face is really perfectly symmetrical, but it definitely makes putting makeup on tricky sometimes. Okay, so now I have like this very like interesting. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting this very interesting gradient going on. Right. I'm gonna turn the light down. The light is a little too bright. Okay. Now I need to go in here with my actual makeup. I use Foera. I use 2 shades. I use, what is this? Nude And then I think the other one's called Soft Peach because my skin does not match just one color of theirs, so I have to use two. This one's right here, so it's a Soft Peach. And I'll put that one on. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to sort of cover and get rid of this yellowish hue here and come in with some powder and change that up. And I still need to cover the other side of my nose. I think I'll go blue on that. Woo! All right, so we've got like this little Tamatoa kind of crab mask thing going on. Yeah. Are we twins yet? Don't mind me, guys. I'm just crazy today. My mind's gone because of all the crazy stuff that's happened. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here. There's this peachish color on the palette. I'll show you guys. So I'm going to use these two colors right here, and I'm going to go underneath and kind of create this interesting effect under. So it'll look like it's got like a little bit of blush on. And then I'll go in with the yellow to warm it all up. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the yellow. Okay, and then where is that? Okay. Orange. And now I'm getting that kind of like peachy tone that he has. Okay. Now we've achieved the peach. I need to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to go like super pink or peachy. I don't know. We're going to figure out what I'm going to do in this area just because in this area near his mouth is a little bit lighter again. Tamatoa has a lot of shades on his face. And I'm not worried about my neck because I'm going to be covering that. One second, guys. I'm getting a knock on the door. And then I have to wrap up here soon because I have another stream on Cos Talk Live for a charity. Okay. We have this peachy color, and it fades into the purple, into the red, into the pink. So we've got a good gradient going on here. And what I'm going to do is kind of blend this area in a little bit more for the mask area. And I think we're pretty good here when it comes to like the cheek colors. So I'll do the eye color, and then we'll just pretty much wrap up for the day. We'll put on the wig, we'll show you guys the look, and I think we'll be good. Use a blending brush. And go in here to blend everything. Or beauty blender, not blending brush. That's fine. Okay. Crazy stuff aside. I'm just like, woo, it's crazy looking. All right, so now we need to go in with the blue on the eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush. I am going to go ahead. He kind of has on his paws or claws, he has this really bright blue and on the underside of his body. So I'm going to go in with like this pale blue here and start filling in the eye section, and then use like a blue, no purple, into a pink to kind of blend into this section down here. So here's hoping this all works out. It is typically a little difficult to avoid fallout. And what I mean by fallout is powder falling off. It's not the easiest thing to avoid doing when you're trying to do something like this. And I am down an eye. I don't know why I'm closing that eye. Part of me is like, oh no, it's still airbrush. I'm not airbrushing anymore. But my brain is still thinking I am. So we just have to get the eyes done, and then I can glue on. I opted to do the pre-made gems today because rhinestones take a while to apply, and I wasn't sure how long I'd have if anything went wrong, which it did. So this is why you prepare for the worst. You hope for the best and prepare for the worst. All right, I'm gonna take my beauty blender and come in here, start blending in the blue. Yeah, we've almost got it done. We're so close. My eyes, my face is like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, face. I'm sure you're freaking out right now. All right, so I'm going in with the light purple again underneath the eye and around the cheek area to create this blended out look. And to kind of add another highlight. And I will use my blender on that again. I'm coming in with this glittery purple too, right where the pink and the blue meet, to hopefully create this blended area. All right, now I'm gonna take the blender and blend all of this in, and I'll have to go in with the pink again to highlight the nose bridge, but all right. So let's go in here with some bright purple gloss right in this area, make it super sparkly, so that when I put the gems on, I've got some additional sparkle in my eye. It's gonna be this really bright blue right here. Yeah, we're getting colorful. All right. And where's that pink? Yeah, here's the pink. Okay, just do one more eye, and we're to the point where all we have to do is put on the gems, and we'll be done. We're almost there. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna just get one eye done for now, and then I'll show you guys the gems so that if I get tired, I can just switch. So I've got these creamy gems that I'm gonna use. I had another pair before, and I trimmed them up. And these are a different, like the same style, but just these are the gems. And I haven't trimmed them, so they might actually be a little big on my eyebrow, but that's okay. So what I've got is these gems are a little bit pre-sticky, but I actually have prosade here. Okay, why is the light? I have prosade here, and I'm going to be using the prosade to actually put the gems on my face. I have some, I have a Q-tip to apply the prosade. Prosade's sort of like contact cement. You put it on the product, you let it dry a little bit, and then you stick it to your face. Since I have so much makeup on, I'm going to put a little bit extra prosade. I'm going to let it dry for a second. You want it to, before you attach it to your face, you want it to look not wet, but not completely dry, just kind of glossy. So I am working on that right now. One of my gems is trying to stick to itself. No. There we go. Okay. So right now it looks really, really wet. And I'm going to let it kind of tone down a little bit. I was a drab little crab once. I just realized I put this on the wrong gem. So I'm just gluing it on this side. It doesn't matter. I can do, it's fine, guys. You know, put it on the wrong eyebrow. I have another one for the other eyebrow. I'll put the other eyebrow on. I usually prefer to do the makeup before I glue the gem on, but screw it. I'm just, I'm like having an off day. Everybody's allowed to have an off day sometimes, right? All right, so I'm going to glue it right on the eyebrow. And then I'm going to hold it there. and let it stay there while it gets stickier. Hey, it looks like I injured my eye. Oh gosh. But yeah. If it doesn't stick, then you just try again until it does. Or you put more glue on your skin, which is often what I have to do. I have like this type of skin that rejects glue. As you can see, this is happening right now. My skin rejects glue, so I often just kind of put a little bit in the area where it's being rejected. Let that dry. This is where I want it to glue. Put some more glue onto the actual piece. And I'll let it sit here for a moment. And when it's decided that it wants to actually stick to me, it will make a connection and not separate. So, yeah. I'm just using a Q-tip and putting Pros-Aide on my skin. And we'll give it a second. It's sort of like when you put on fake eyelashes, you want the glue to dry for a second before you actually stick it to your face. So. Matt, you're like literally singing the song. This is good. If I could play the song while doing this, that'd be great, but Disney owns all music. I love how I have like one eye done and the other eye's like, nah. Oh, it's getting real sticky now. I think we're almost at the point where I can, you usually have to wait about 15 to 45 seconds depending on the person. So now I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to basically put it right here. I just didn't feel like doing the individual rhinestones, so I got the same style that I got last time before I trimmed it, and I am just not trimming it and just trying to make it work on my skin. Oh look, it worked. It really just like, so this is what I mean by saying like it's literally like contact cement. So I have one on my one eyebrow. Now I'm gonna put it on the eyebrow I actually originally intended to put it on. And just got confused apparently. So, you know, it's fine. I'm fine. I swear I'm alive and I'm fine. And like getting it to match is the tricky part. Because again, not people's faces are usually not symmetrical. So you're just gonna be like, why isn't this working? It will work. You just have to look at yourself and be like, my face is not symmetrical, and accept that that's the truth. Okay, I think that's glue is as symmetrical as possible. Now I have to put the glue on the actual eyebrow piece and let it dry again. But thank you all for sticking through me while I had the airbrush fail, and then I had the water activate or the alcohol activated palette fail, and now I have to figure out why my alcohol activated palette isn't working, because that's really weird. Normally I don't have that problem with it, or it could just be the color I wanted to use is just a jerk. I don't know. So I'll glue on the lower on this completed eye, but that one I do have to do the makeup there before, because I can't blend with the gem on. I mean, I could, but it would be really difficult. So just, oh, it's already trying to stick to me. No! It's been a makeup experience. Usually my makeup goes way better than this, but apparently I'm out of practice because I haven't been to a convention in so long. So even though I put this makeup on like a month ago, I think. I didn't do it like this though. I did like just powder, lots and lots of powder for like 2 hours. I just kept layering powder. So actually putting on like the red and the blue and the orange and the yellow with the airbrush first and creating the base so that the powder would be more vibrant worked much better this time around. So okay, now let's see if I can actually attach it to my eye the same way. We'll see. And why do I always use my middle finger? Apparently I like flipping myself off in the mirror. Yay! Flipping myself off is fun. Okay. There we go. One is definitely higher than the other, but whatever. One of these things is not like the other. I don't care. Like, I just look like I'm giving you like a. All right, I think this is the other proper eye. Is this the proper eye? Yes, and that has to go like real close. So try not to get the glue super close to the part of your eye. Like, try to keep it a little bit like lower in the waterline. You don't want to get glue in your waterline. You will die. Okay, you won't die, but you'll be in extreme discomfort. So I highly recommend keeping the glue lower. This is Prosaid, so it is medical grade adhesive, but it's still recommended to keep it, away from your eye, like not too close. So that is what I'm doing. I'm not getting it. I'm getting like there's a whole like ½ inch right here that's not even near my eye. And I mean, once these are on, these things, they live here. Go lower. It's like, I don't want to go lower. All right. All right, I think it's pretty good. Oh, my eye's starting to stick to itself. Hi, I'm so sparkly and shiny. Yeah, so shiny. Oh gosh, I got a reflection from my mirror that was aggressive. Hello, mirror. Why is this one? I have one gem that has turned upside down, and I cannot get it to turn right side up. It's fine. It's just going to live upside down now. But normally, I'm going to come in here with more gems, but I don't feel like doing that today. So since I do have a little bit of time, I have 7 minutes. Let's see if I can finish getting the blue on the other eye in 7 minutes. Wish me luck. We'll see what happens without getting it all over the gems. That's fun. Or all over my face. I'll try. I'll try to be good. Why do I keep closing my eye? It's just powder. It's not going to do anything to you, Sam. Stop closing your eye. It's like I'm afraid of the powder before it even gets to my eyelid. And I can tell I got some glue down here, and I'm like, why isn't it working? Okay. Uh-oh. I went a little far with the blue. It's fine. I will just blend it in with some pink later. We'll be fine. Okay. Where's that beauty blender? Gentle. Do not take off the gems. I guess there is some blue over here, so it's fine. All right. Goes in here. So this is what it started like the first time before I started doing more blending. So now I'm gonna come in here with, oh wait, that's right. I came in with the bright blue afterwards to create sparkles and match the gems. Remembering your steps, very important. There we go. Okay. And I'll take a picture of this later so you guys can see it, because I'm sure that the light rig is not helping with some of these colors because they're much brighter in my mirror. I keep closing my eyes, not meaning to. I have to go in there with this. Okay. Where is my, okay, so I started with like a light blue and I started coming out like this under the eye with the blue. All right, and then I took the bright blue and came in here, started blending it out. All right, now I came in with the pink. I started going like this because pink is the main color here. Okay. And the really light peach colors to try and help blend it so that it's not so dark. Okay, and then I just need to come in with some of this purple. Blend that in again. There we go. Get in the super light purple. Walking you guys through my color transition, because yay. And then I took Beauty Blender and I started blending all this out. I gotta go back to the pink, fix that up. Okay, almost got this done. Okay. And then here's the pink I came in with here to blend this all out. And then the peach colors. All right, the colors are almost identical. I do need to come in with the pink here again. Ooh, it is getting there. Okay, now I just need to do the orange here to help warm that up there. Okay, and then I just need to put on the other color here. Yeah, just gotta put on the other gem, and I think we're pretty much there. I think I'm done with the powder. And let's put on that last gem, shall we? And then we can call this a day. And I can go to my other stream. because my phone is about to die anyways. I am excited to say that I have purchased a rig for crafting so that in the future when I do crafting, you guys will have a top view along with like a computer view, because I thought that might be pretty useful. I put a little too much glue on this. Let's peel some of that off. There we go. And I put it like right under here. And the great thing about this glue is it dries clear, so you shouldn't have any problems with it showing. I do prefer it over like pretty much every other glue. Hello, Weldon. We are very nearly done. I'm just gonna glue on this last gem and call it a day. Throw on a wig, I guess. Putting on this last gem right here. All right, almost, okay. It's pretty sticky. It's pretty sticky now. Okay, so I put it right there. Okay. And we have glued on our last gem. And I have my makeup done. And this actually looks a lot better than the previous makeup I did for Tamatoa. I have more like the blue tones that I want. I've got like the good gradient that I was looking for. I have the peach and the yellow. And with the wig on, I would say that this is going to look pretty awesome. So let me go grab my wig. You're going to see like my skin tone between the airbrush and like what happened. I should probably get some of this glue off my hand before I throw the wig on, because that wouldn't be good to have glue in my hand. We don't want the wig and the glue to become best friends. So I'm going to pull my hair back here real fast and then throw on that wig, and we will see how everything looks, and we'll be ready to go. I did actually bring a wig with me. So here's my wig. It is not opening for me. I'm just going to close this makeup palette that I have here. Okay, so this is Tamatoa's wig. It's a very wavy purple wig. Ooh, those little wig nets that like to stick to you forever. I just had a wig net do that. So, go. Get this knot is crazy. All right. Oh, I can't see. I can't now. Okay. And Tamatoa is set. So thank you for joining me for my stream today. I will see all of you soon, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.